Hi, my name's Mark. Welcome to this Ivory Egg technical bulletin. Today we're going to look at some of the updates from Theben from Light+Building 2018, specifically those that relate to KNX. Let's get started. Theben have released an update to the HMT6 and HMT12 manifold controllers. The previous versions are very popular, something that's been in the market for a long time. It's a self-contained unit with its own integrated power supply, so you don't need a DIN rail box or any type of enclosure at the manifold. This can just mount directly onto the wall. The new version has the same form factor. It still mounts directly to the wall. It still has that integrated power supply for 24 volt, but there's a lot of new features being added. The first is each of the output channels can be configured as either 24 volt for your normal manifold valve heads, electrothermal valve actuator heads, or it can be changed to 0 to 10 volt, either for a proportional valve control or maybe for a mixing valve or some other valve type. It means it's not just a manifold controller anymore, it could be used as analog outputs. It still has the integrated power supply, and it has a new output, a 24 volt output, as an auxiliary supply for any devices that require 24 volt. For example, 0 to 10 volt valve heads, you're sending the 0 to 10 volt to control the position, but you still need to provide the 24 volt power. It has regulation on each of the channels, so you can do all of the control within the unit and just provide it a temperature from in the room. You don't need an external room thermostat. And there's some new relays for pumps and boilers. If you've got a system where you haven't got a pump that's automatically spinning to 0 and you need to switch a pump on and off, the HMT6 and 12S is the perfect product with the onboard relay for directly running that manifold pump or sending a signal back to the boiler. Of course, it has the normal bus objects for turning on the pump or the boiler as well, but we can now do it physically on the device, which is a first, certainly as far as I'm aware, within the KNX world. It also has a smart highest actuating variable. Now this automatically provides the highest demand across all of the channels, but the beauty of it is it can be linked to other manifolds or the Theben CHIOPS drive, and between all the different devices, the highest value will always be sent on the group address. So you link them all into the same group address, and when say a manifold sends its output, if another device has a higher output, it will always send that value. It's a very simple way of linking together multiple manifolds, multiple radiators. You don't need any external logic, you don't need an OR gate or anything like that, no server required. You can just very simply link together all the different objects and work out a demand from the system. Now if you're using something like OpenTherm, you would be able to link that directly to your boiler, or if you're using a relay actuator, they have the ability to bring a threshold value into the unit. So you could say, for example, if the received value is more than 5%, open the relay to fire the boiler. It's a very exciting product, something we've been waiting for a long time. It looks good on the wall, it's self-contained, it really ticks all the boxes for what a manifold controller should be. They're available now, you should be able to order them from most outlets. We're certainly waiting for our first stocking order at the moment. The next new product is the Ronda S360 KNX Flat DE in white or grey. Quite a mouthful of a name, especially when considering it's replacing the Sphinx, which is now end of line. It's a very, very thin device. It's only 5mm thick when sitting on the ceiling. There is another version available, a surface mount version, but we see this one as being the most relevant. It has quite a large lens. The beauty of that is it has quite a large detection range. It mounted at 2.5 meters in the ceiling. It has a 7-meter diameter. It also has a presence detector. It's not just motion. It's quite a big difference to some of the other micro and small sensors that don't have a very big window. They have quite a small range, whereas that's not the case with this device. It's IP54, which makes it perfect for bathrooms or humid areas, and it has 4 channels. So you've got movement presence, but you can also use different functions for, say, heating or something like that. It has constant light control for managing light levels based on the lux level, and as said, it comes in white or grey. There is another version available, the surface mount, and it's available now. Really neat device. Whilst it's replacing the Sphinx, it's also bringing in some new functions, and that IP54 rating is critical for those bathroom areas, which is where they tend to be used a lot of the time. Another new device is the PASA corridor detector. This has 2 sensors looking in each direction, enabling it to read down a corridor 15 meters in each direction with a width of 5 meters. You're able to limit that with masking, and because of those 2 sensors, it's able to work out the direction of travel, which means you can use it to do aura effects, which is when the light spotlights the person as they walk down the corridor, or chaser effects, having lights behind or in front of the person. Or you might use it to activate the lighting in an auxiliary area, in the area where they're walking to, maybe the end of the corridor. They're obviously going to be going into the room at the end, so using it to turn on that light. Again, it's IP54, meaning it's suitable for humid and wet applications. And it has, again, 4 channels, constant light control. It's also available in grey. Pretty standard detector in terms of what it's doing, but with those extra features, aura and chaser, that direction of travel, there aren't many other manufacturers doing that in KNX, so it's great to see that innovation. When it comes to commissioning, Theben have improved the sender, which is a remote that enables you to change settings on the PIRs remotely. You can do things like changing the lux level threshold or changing the timeouts. They've now added Bluetooth to it, which means you can just do all the settings on your phone, stream from your phone to the remote via Bluetooth, and then from the remote up to the PIRs. It's going to be available in June, and it's going to significantly save the commissioning time, especially in larger projects, commercial projects where you've got a lot of detectors. A couple of other updates to KNX products. The DALI gateway has now got new functionality. It now has supports DALI Type 8, which can be used for tunable white, or color control for doing RGB or RGBW. You can control them via scenes, so you can set up a scene with different color temperature levels or different color very simply. It has the usual 64 individual addresses, or you can do it in groups, or you can do scenes. Because it's got the web browser for configuring it, if you were looking at doing a tunable white installation, it needs to be timed ideally, so different times of the day have different color temperature. With the web browser, you're able to set up a timer inside the unit to trigger those different levels. It also supports emergency ballasts, including single emergency ballasts if they're integrated into the fittings. It's quite a powerful product, and this update brings it in line with a lot of the other DALI gateways in the market. The other one is the KNX IP Secure interface and KNX IP Secure router. They're going to be available in September, which is standard from most manufacturers that launched the new KNX IP Secure products at Light+Building. It seems they're all in at the KNX laboratories for testing. It's a great step ahead for KNX, being able to wrap all of the IP telegrams in a secure blanket. And based on the previous Theben IP models, this will be quite functional as well. More information to follow on that when we get it. Those are the key KNX updates from Theben that were launched at Light+Building. There were a lot of other new products announced, which are covered in the 2018 product announcements brochure, which is available on a link below. And also check out the Ivory Egg website for more information and a blog about some of these updates. Thank you for watching this technical bulletin. Goodbye for now.